Happy preliminary Thanksgiving. Have a really, really big slate tonight, both the NBA and the NHL. If you want, you could also pipe in for some questions on tomorrow's Thanksgiving slate. We could talk on that a little bit. I just did another projection run, and I posted it to the site, so that's good. I guess we want to confirm who's starting for Philly if that hasn't already been released yet. That's a good place to start. I also, one little bit of change, I like Giannis more than I did before at 12-3, I think. I haven't really built, but just when I reran the numbers, he shows up a little bit better. I still do like Trey. And the other guy who's really popping is OG Anunoby. Not to mention Gary Trent Jr. and Chris Boucher. So what's kind of cool is I could usually tell the injury reports based on what the projections are looking like. There he is. What's going on? So welcome to the Toronto Shit Show.
Yep, knew something was coming. Didn't know it'd be this. Well, so I ranked all of them in order.
Okay.
I have Flynn number 1, Juancho number 2, Trent number 3, OG number 4, Boucher number 5, Thad number 6, and Koloko number 7.
Yeah, so I have to find these like, is Flynn starting? Is that the story?
We don't know.
Yeah.
But you'd assume with neither Barnes or Van Vliet and Banton that he probably does.
How many total guys are there?
10.
Okay.
Great matchup. Yeah, I currently in both of my big lineups on DraftKings have that one with a Ben Simmons run back and one with a Kevin Durant run back, which I don't feel great about. But I found a little narratives to squeeze out of Kevin Durant on this one.
What do you got?
Well, so this is where he ended up tearing his Achilles in the finals, and they all started cheering like crazy. And there was a big uproar about how can you possibly do that to a guy who just tore his Achilles, and it was in the finals and all that. Anyway, it's there's something there. They need to win games. I don't have the whole lot of difference between he and the other top guys. He's a little more expensive than I want, but that's what I've got right now. I don't know that I'm going to end up keeping it. I'll be out of here at 6:30. And it's interesting that David Pingalore just mentioned in our chat that Anthony Edwards is a great play. No one's on him. I don't know what that means with McDaniels. Indy can't protect the perimeter. I don't really understand what that means. I think Edwards is what? I don't understand what he's writing. No, I have Anthony Edwards in some lineups, and I have Karl Anthony Towns in more lineups. I like that game, and I think it's a good place to spend money. To just say Anthony Edwards is a great play in a vacuum is never kind of a good thing to do because he's just got an incredibly wide range of outcomes. It's a good type of matchup for him for sure. You like the pace. You like who he'll be matched up with on the other side with Nesmith and Hield and all that. But I think Towns is my number 1 there, but I do have Anthony Edwards as a play. I just think that don't think of it like Anthony Edwards is the rule. Like, he's he'll get you 25 and he'll get you 65. There's a wide range of outcomes.
Yeah, but to play devil's advocate, I mean, isn't that what we want though?
Yeah, absolutely. But I like it as a great GPP play. I'm not going to be like writing in our Discord like everybody else does. What the hell's wrong with Anthony Edwards and stuff? Just because it's just I know what I'm getting into, by playing him.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're bad defensively, and they've played a lot of other teams that are bad defensively that hasn't mattered for him. Now, I do like this matchup for him for what it's worth. Other thing worth mentioning with Edwards that I like is that his shots are trending in the right direction. He's shooting the ball much more. They somehow finally realized that Rudy Gobert is not really a part of their offense, and they shouldn't be giving him the ball and letting him try to create things, which I don't understand what they were doing in the first place with that. But yeah, you got to like the matchup for Edwards. And that's just a side note because Pingalore wrote it right away, which is sort of interesting to see the first thing, because the number one thing you figure out here is what to do with Toronto. And we're not going to, unfortunately, have a starting lineup. Regardless of the starting lineup, I like everybody in the projected starting lineup right now anyway. The one I have the least exposure to is Thad Young. But Flynn, Trent, Anunoby, and Juancho are all tremendous plays.
Yeah, I'm not getting to Flynn yet, so I'm gonna
rerun your numbers.
I just did 5 seconds ago. Yeah,
got him as the number one. Got him around 8.5x.
Flynn.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, just to give everybody a recap, when this happened before, when there's no Siakam and Van Vliet, Flynn was averaging, I think for like 3 weeks, he averaged like 47 a game or something. He cost like 9,500 by the end of it. So we've sort of seen this story before, but I don't think he's going to get 47 or necessarily.
Well, I think Toronto's actually the second. That's the second thing you want to do is figure out what's going on in Toronto. I think you want to figure out what's going on. I think you want to figure out what's going on with Philly first, because it starts first.
I just don't think there's anything new to that, right? Like it's the same.
Well, do we know who's starting?
Well, I don't see why it would change, but if it changed, then you just adjust. But I can't see why they wouldn't start the same lineup that just won last night. It would be just almost never happens in the NBA.
One show.
I like Harrell for what it's worth, and I like both. I'll have one of Harrell or Reed in probably most of my lineups at center. But I like Harrell better than Reed personally, especially because the ownership. And I don't think there's anybody else you have to play except for Milton, maybe, but you don't have to play anybody from there. I'm surprised. So yeah, you've got him projected at 50. I think there's just something missing with the projection or something.
I'm doing it again, I guess. I'll run it again.
Because
all right, we'll see.
I mean, if he doesn't start, I'm just curious what other sites would have him lower than, like, I really think like his median score here at the lowest I could see a site giving him if he starts is 28.
If he starts, okay. I guess when they man on starters, maybe they'll up minutes and stuff.
I just can't imagine how they don't start him though. They don't have another point guard. Like, this is not the same situation as it was before because Scotty Barnes was playing.
Right.
When Banton went crazy. And Banton was playing. So, who's like the mini Scotty Barnes.
Update these.
And I think you want to play 2 or 3 from Toronto, personally. That's the sweet spot. I think 2 is fine, but I think 3 is.
Is there any negative correlation you're worried about? Like would you not play one with another or something like that? Or
no.
Okay.
If I had to prioritize that, I guess it would be like I wouldn't play Boucher and Thad Young together. And I wouldn't play Boucher and Juancho maybe. But that's really just about it. And I wouldn't play Koloko and Boucher.
So with all that in value, I mean, do the guys like Giannis open up for you a little bit more?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't see the need to spend all the way up today. I do Trae Young as you liked him earlier. I do like him. I like DeJounte Murray actually a little bit. It's a really good game environment, so I'm trying to take advantage of that. And then I've got a lot of the Halliburton with either Edwards or Cat as my main spend ups right now. With some Shea, with some Giddy as a mid-range. I like Jalen Smith with Jackson and Nemhard ruled out. I think that Smith's minutes are more solidified. Like a little bit of John Collins. I did like Korkmaz as a long shot tournament play, and now I don't like him as much just because the value has become better. And I do have a lot of Man right now, of Terrence Mann, but I don't think that you need to do that either. Young or Tatum? It's Young for me, but with Tatum playing, does that mess with Brown's ceiling? Of course it does. I was never under the impression that Tatum wasn't going to play today. But if he wasn't going to play, then Jaylen Brown and all of the Celtics would look like really good plays. But yeah, of course it necessarily.
That whole game kind of fishy to me.
Yeah, I'm not that interested. Well, I mean, yeah, but if Tatum was out, it would have been
right.
You would have had some interest in there. Dinwiddie in, Kleba out, nothing there. Yeah, it's Toronto. I do have too much Man right now, but I'm going to probably whittle it down. One of Harrell or Reed. I still like Simons and Nurk, who I think are going to be overlooked.
Yeah, they're going to be really overlooked.
Mm-hmm. And then we have to figure out what's happening in Miami with the Bam, Lowry. Like those guys may end up being great plays, and we just don't know yet. Remember, this Heat team, the shorthanded Heat were the team that this is the team they took into overtime on the road.
Yeah.
And now they even if they have Bam back, but Lowry just plays a million minutes.
It really is amazing.
Well. He played 44 minutes in the last game. He was 5 of 16 from the floor, and he still put up 50 fantasy points. So it depends on whether Hero or Bam or whatever happens there. Because if Hero's in, I'm okay sort of letting most of the game go with maybe playing a little Hero. But if Hero is out, Bam and just straight back to Bam and Lowry. I actually like Bam anyway, but I think Lowry is a really, really good play if Hero's out.
The only reason I've mentioned about the Philly thing is that it is possible that Paul Reed could start.
I just don't see any world why they would do that. That would be the weirdest coaching thing to me.
Well, just to reward him for a great game yesterday. I don't know.
They punished Montrezl Harrell all year long, and I don't know. I don't see NBA coaches mixing up the starting lineups after wins.
Okay.
They're shorthanded. That's my personal take, but I could be wrong. It's one thing. We could put a little side bet on it.
No, not at all. I'm just saying it's something to watch.
I love it. We should do it. I think that because we didn't make the friendly bet, but I think I won the Bills thing pretty easily, huh? That was pretty nuts. Did you see that?
Oh yeah, that was good.
That was nuts. They sold out 56,300 tickets in the first hour.
Yeah,
that's pretty wild. Reggie Jackson is just a guy to me tonight. John Wall eats up all the usage, and Jackson's been better, so I think he's fine. Certainly not a guy I'm trying to get to, but he's fine.
Yeah. The projection is updating on Flynn as you suggested, and of course the ownership is not updating because people are idiots.
He's gonna, if he's starting, he's gonna be like, I think at the high buy-ins you could probably say 70+%, 60 to 70%. It's hard for me to see below 70, but it's definitely possible on this big a slate.
I think it's too big of a slate.
Maybe. Getting to Giannis or Sage on DK. I am definitely getting to SGA. But Eric, do not quote these numbers. This is a huge mistake that gets made all the time in DFS. Everybody's quoting these. Oh, they're both going to be less than 10% owned. Well, with all this news, with all this stuff, that's not the way that it works. So it's not. We had guys projected at 1% owned who were.
Hold on a second. Is there is somebody out on Minnesota?
Why?
I'm getting a projection on Jalen Noel.
Yeah, maybe because he's
not great, but better than he was earlier. Okay, so not that big a deal.
I don't know, unless I missed something here.
No, I think everybody's in.
Either way, I would say that's probably a good stay away from that one. It is weird though, like his minutes. Maybe there's coach speak that I didn't hear about. His minutes have dwindled.
What do you think about the Utah guys?
Uh, they're guys, I think Sexton is probably the one I like best. I don't care really whether he starts or not. He hasn't really started at all this season. Every time he's projected to start, he comes off the bench. I think he may have started one game. Sexton, THT, and Olynyk are the three that I have interest in. Clarkson on FanDuel, a little bit better over there, but Clarkson's been really good for what it's worth. And maybe you could make that play. I'm not that interested myself.
Anything worth saving for later today?
Toronto,
Right.
and Miami. Those are the 7:30 games.
Yeah, I was thinking more later than that.
In terms of questionables, that's a good question. Like Clippers starting lineup, I guess.
Yeah.
Clippers only have 10 bodies. I mean, some of these guys are going to get there. It's just Marcus Morris is the answer for me on FanDuel, along with Norman Powell on both sites. Reggie Jackson would be after them because I like the guard position better. But he's, this would be a game where he should be able to get shots off. The problem is they probably get absolutely just trucked by Golden State at home. Yeah, that's where I'm at on that.
Yeah, I'm getting kind of an updated from one side, Malachi Flynn ownership of 54%. That sounds about right.
Yeah, which means probably 75% of the big buy-ins.
Probably.
But yeah, that sounds.
And then other owned guys I'm getting: Paul Reed, OG Anunoby, Juancho. I'm getting 22% of. And Flynn also on FanDuel was 4,600.
Yep. And Alec Burks is questionable now, and I don't think he's going to play. Midday downgrade.
Yeah. I did promise if anybody had questions about the hockey. My highest exposed hockey stack tonight is going to be Vegas. So if you guys are in there and rooting for that, that's what I'm doing over there. Any NFL things that we didn't go over for tomorrow that you wanted to touch on, or?
Probably not until I know who's playing. It's weird on these Thursday games, just in case anything doesn't happen. I sort of have the same builds that I did after we did our first thing, which I put up there, trying to find a way not to play Josh Allen. And I think the best way to do that is probably to play Dak.
Well, I will probably. The other thing, obviously, you could do, is play Josh Allen with no Diggs.
Yeah, which is actually what I'm doing a lot of.
Okay.
Allen, Davis, and Knox, and a little bit of McKenzie. I keep wanting to try to talk myself into Daniel Jones. Guy is pretty. His numbers on the road are just abysmal for fantasy, and it's Dallas. But I also think that, again, with that pass rush, sometimes you end up scrambling a little bit more. So that's a little bit what I thought. I think in all your lineups you're playing two players at least from Toronto Sheets. Would you kind of agree with that assessment?
I think you're going to get that. I think so.
Yeah, and I think 3 is okay. I think 3 is completely reasonable.
I think Anunoby is probably the best play.
And for what it's worth, I still like Toronto to win that game.
Yeah,
I like OG is, but he can also go through streaks where he just misses shots, and if he's not getting steals and blocks, which this is a good matchup for him to do. That, and Trent has that too. They all sort of have that. Flynn feels the safest to me, but I think OG is a really good play.
Yeah, if Flynn is starting a point guard, do one more run here. Okay, let's go. And so I guess if you're not getting a Giannis, you're certainly not getting a Luka.
No. It's fine. I just think I'm not building that way.
Right. Like, what's the highest price guy that you're going to play?
Shea.
Yeah, I like that.
But I'm sorry, I have Durant in one of my big ones.
Oh, that's right, because of the run back.
Yeah, but even that doesn't feel great. And by the way, to throw it out there to whoever said it in chat earlier about I kind of agree that Kyrie will break out and have a monster game. This seems like a really bad spot traveling. Like, remember you said that earlier, yeah.
Yeah.
Traveling on the road on a back-to-back after missing basically 3 years of basketball. I know he played a little bit. I know he played the beginning of the season, but I mean, just an incredible upside all the time. But I don't know if I don't know, and I also don't know which one OG is going to guard, he or Durant, and then that's a long night for whoever that is. My guess is it'll be Durant, but Durant can score over anybody anyway, so maybe they're smart and they play him on Kyrie.
I would like to say that as long as there's no big, well, there's got to be Miami news, right? Crap.
Yeah, Miami, Toronto starting lineup, and then whatever we don't know yet.
Right. Well, I will say this: that it's a pretty thorough update I just pushed through as of now, which is pretty good, actually.
Nice.
That is actually pretty good.
Cool. I'm just trying to look at some other ownerships I've got. Who else is popping up a little bit? I mentioned John Collins is sort of a little bit of a weird play. Jalen Smith, a low-owned play probably. Let's see. Josh Giddey, Anthony Edwards, Karl Anthony Towns. The Harrison Barnes thing is like it's a little annoying to me because I kind of like wanted to play him because he's just been really good and like feels like a safe like 6 to 7x, but I just think I'm gonna scratch that on this one. I think I'm gonna go play instead of him. I'm just gonna play Jalen Smith.
Well, let me see what I'm getting on FanDuel here, because I'm just gonna rerun this. Ken Thomas and all.
Hero looks like he's gonna be in, so a lot less interest in Miami for me.
Well, thank God. I don't need to deal with that. Okay, let's see. You playing FanDuel? I know the big one's not like so exciting for you tonight, but
I'm playing one. I'm playing a couple of little lineups too. Just want to point out the last couple of games that Cedi Osman has been really good. He's put up the 46 and 27 with their small forwards gone. I'd be okay with getting Cedi Osman in some lineups tonight.
Getting a lot of Marcus Morris on FanDuel. But that's like totally,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like late swaps city, you know what I mean? Like you can do whatever you want with that call. I mean, like,
yeah. Eric says he likes Myers a lot tomorrow for the Patriots. I think that the field likes Myers a lot too. I don't see that as being a creative play, unfortunately, because I too would play him some.
Mr. Eric is not playing that.
Poku is in. Where did that come from? Is that real?
Poku? I didn't even know that they played. Oh, Shea. Okay.
He was out. Like, wow, that's weird. Okay. I mean, Poku's in play. Like, That does, I believe it or not, I actually think that does hurt Giddy and Shea a little bit.
Yeah.
Not like to where you can't play him, but it's another active guy who can sort of initiate offense.
Well, he'll initiate offense when those other guys aren't on the court. I mean,
well, there's never going to be a time one of those guys isn't on the court.
right, that's what I'm saying. I don't know what to.
So it sort of hurts a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, this Marcus Morris thing is rearing its ugly head on FanDuel.
I don't think it's that ugly. But you got to, I mean, the problem is that game staying close. But Marcus Morris at 4,900 is completely reasonable, in my opinion. I have a little more love for Powell, but these guys can all fail. Like, that's the weirdest part of the clip. I keep looking at them and it's like, oh, these guys all fail all the time in these spots. And then it's like, yeah, but somebody has to succeed. Like,
right.
Somebody has to with like this. Is it Batum? But I don't think I could do that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a big slate for Batum.
I know. It really feels like the wrong time. All right. 4 more minutes, guys. Yeah, we got Poku is in. I got it. We know Poku's in. He's not the worst play in the world, by the way.
Poku?
Yeah, he's 4,900. Feels like about every third game or so he puts up like 45 or 40. But I don't think I'm going to do it. I just throwing it out there.
I'm getting on FanDuel. I'm getting a bunch of on FanDuel. Wow, getting a bunch of D'Angelo Russell on FanDuel. I haven't played him in a long time.
For good reason.
For good freaking reason, right?
Yeah. What is his price? He's got to be crazy cheap. I mean, he's cheap.
No, not even. It's like 6,300.
Oh, he's more expensive on FanDuel than he is on DraftKings.
Yeah, I don't get this at all.
Yeah, I mean,
stupid. It's so stupid. It just might work.
Yeah, it's interesting that he's popping up there. It is. I mean, I think they're looking like the wings have really, the guards and wings have really just destroyed Indiana. But I don't know. It just feels weird. He does have a ceiling,
awful,
like we know that.
Awful play.
Yeah, I mean, he's had 2 games this season, and probably there were people out in some of those games, and they're totally healthy tonight. But you never know. I mean, I wouldn't like if I was playing 150, I wouldn't cross him out. That's pretty funny, Eric. He still plays in the NBA. Dean Wade is back, which will hurt Osman. I agree with you, Brian. I'm not playing Osman. I'm just throwing it out there that he is going to get minutes no matter what, and he's been really, really good the last couple games. But he's also been incredibly efficient. Well, he was incredibly efficient last game. He put up 23 real life points. He's 22% usage. I mean, he could still get there even with Dean Wade, but yeah, I hear you. Dean Wade definitely does hurt him. This is not a priority play. That's more of like a large field, take a dart kind of a thing. Let me just see real quick what Osman's even projected at. She's a reasonable-ish projection for that price, but you'd be pairing him up with additional value, not playing him on his own ahead of the other guys. Flynn or Young for Toronto? I have no idea where that question comes from because they're totally different prices. They play
different positions.
Different positions. Flynn is the answer, but if you're playing like a tiers contest and they're the same tier, I would say it's close. Russell Edwards, Daniels, Towns, Gobert. It's not just Aberson that likes Arjax, and everybody seems to, but also Arjax tonight is a better play than he has been all season because one of Paul George and Kawhi has played in almost every game. I think all but one. And you're playing Golden State, who plays super fast, and you're going to need someone who can score. John Wall will be happy to do his job off the bench, but he's only going to play. I mean, he really is on a minutes limit, and it should be treated that way. They're just not letting him play much, and maybe they let the wheels off this, like just let him loose this time. But I don't know. I don't feel good about that. So I think Reggie Jackson is a better play than usual. But I mean, he's put up 33 or more in 3 straight games. He put up 38 in the last game. This is a great matchup. So it's not a bad play for sure. Okay, I'm gonna have to get out of here in just a minute because I need to finish these builds.
Yeah, I think I'm going to join you.
Okay.
Yeah, I wonder if I'm not going to have time. If I could pop on tomorrow. No, that's not going to happen. Yeah, let me just give everybody what my exposures look like on DraftKings right now. Yeah, I'm getting, a lot of the Flynn, almost all of Linus with Flynn, and then I'm getting Paul Reed. Then the next guy I have on Toronto is Trent. Actually,
Yeah, it's
it's
fine.
a little scary, but
I think it's okay just because they're down. I had an issue with it when like just Van Vliet was out, or just Siakam was out. But when you take Van Vliet, Siakam, and Barnes out, you kind of have to count on your guards and your wings to do things.
the other guy I have a lot of is Ben Simmons.
Me too, and I feel very nervous about that one. It feels very shaky to me. I actually like the new Simmons role, and I like what they've been doing, but back-to-back, going to Toronto after the emotional game in Philly, did he find something, or is he going to, like, the problem is they lost, too. Did he find something, or is this going to be like a Ben Simmons passivity game or something?
Right.
I don't agree that I totally couldn't disagree more that he's chasing, though. I don't think he's chasing at all. He's, in fact, since he's looked like himself again and gotten this role, he's averaging 45 fantasy points per game. I don't see it at all as a chase. I just see it as a worry about the back-to-back and the 3rd and 4 nights, and a road game at a Toronto team that can slow down the pace. Still really think Toronto's going to win that game. Maybe I look like an idiot. Harrell starting.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to matter, like you said.
Yeah, I think Reed is going to.
All these projections were based on Reed on Harrell starting anyway.
Right, exactly.
But that doesn't mean that Paul Reed's going to get 32 minutes again.
No, that's just. I think it's. I really like. Actually, I like Harrell tonight. Like I do. In fact, well, I don't know if I'd play him if he's off the bench, but I would consider him if he's off the bench. I love a good narrative too. Anyway, you know me.
Yeah.
Pretty weird to see Looney still near the top of the projections. If you play Kevin Looney tonight, just don't play tournaments anymore.
What?
I said, if you play Kevin Looney tonight, don't play tournaments anymore. It's just crazy on this big of a slate that Looney is still like the 7th highest projected player per point per dollar. It's just so weird. Do you know who I am using? Last guy I didn't mention is Joe Val. I'm playing Joe Val on FanDuel.
Oh, okay.
He's 5,600. I love guys who can 10x their price, even if it only happens 1 out of 5 games or 10 games or whatever.
Well, that's plenty.
All right, Cheats. I might bounce. Are you good?
I am, but I'm interested in what you just said about Harrell, though.
About Harrell?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't like Harrell?
I do. I think I want to play him more than
Yeah.
I'm getting right now. I think one of Reed and Harrell is a good idea.
Yeah, one of Reed or Harrell. I agree. And hope they don't split the minutes exactly. And even if they do, you're probably okay. Okay, so the Wizards, so Bradley Beal, Rui Hachimura, and Monty Morris are all out. To be honest with you, I'm not sure I'm going to do anything about this.
Well, but we should probably think
Kuzma,
about it.
Terrible matchup that they're facing. Kuzma is 8,600. Porzingis is 8,900. Avdia becomes the obvious guy. So I guess Avdia is fine. And if they started Jordan Goodwin, I could consider that, but I don't think that's necessarily that much better than Mann. And Will Barton it becomes a little bit interesting, which is weird to say out loud. They have the possibility of playing. They're going to have 12 available bodies for sure. They have 19 guys listed on their list of guys who are like able to play if they needed them to. It's incredible. I've never seen this many guys on a team before. It's really like 17, but still. Yeah, that is going to be a thing. I'm gonna have to go. I have to get to build in real quick. Sheets, can I get out of here just so I can finish my things real quick?
Yeah, you do whatever you want. This
All right,
is a
man.
free country, right?
All right. Good luck. Good luck, Sheets. Good luck, everybody. Hey, happy holidays. And hopefully we're celebrating later tonight in Discord and all through the weekend. So good luck, everybody.
Yeah, that would be nice.
I'm leaving it on for you, Sheets.
Yeah, I started actually. So there. Okay, I probably should take a look at this Washington thing before I go, but I'm not going to. Yeah, I definitely think that one of Harrell or Reed makes sense, but I don't think that it all has to be Reed. Reed's the one that's popping all these projections, but I think that it's okay to play Harrell as well. Yeah, I definitely have more Reed than Harrell, but having some Harrell, I think it makes sense. Yeah, I think I like this. This looks like a better distribution here. Any other questions here? So play all the Toronto was players with 1 or 2 spends. Is that what people are doing? I don't know what people are doing, but yeah. Let me see the Wizards stuff and see what that does. I guess Kristoff would get a break, right? Stays? I'm ready in like a minute or two. Yeah, you want me to go get? Does this help you at all? What do you want me to get? From your parents. Okay. All right, everybody. Good luck.